There are a plethora of things for you to find and discover in Genshin Impact, but today we're going over the biggest secret, Geoculus Vault. This is going to be rewarded to you for fulfilling several objectives in this game. You're going to have to find all 130 of the Geoculuses floating around the southern province in Genshin Impact. On top of that, one of them is actually hidden within a sort of a secret quest of itself, the Chi of Jiyun quest, where you're going to have to navigate northwest of the village where you accept the quest. Once you have that finished up, that's going to have its grand finale in this secret lair where you have to fight against a bunch of these robot type enemies, these guardians. After you do defeat all of these, you're going to be rewarded with a large treasure stash in the back of this dungeon, but inside that treasure stash is going to be your final Geoculus. You have to be able to finish. In this quest, the Chi of Jiyun can be very involved in and of itself. It's got its own quest line, it has all of its own puzzles. It's basically its own entity, but this is the final lock that you're going to need to solve, basically, because your final Geoculus is going to be hidden in here if you haven't done this quest line yet, and there's no way to get that final one, to get your statue to level 10, to get the final sphere, to unlock the actual hidden dungeon in Genshin Impact without doing this quest line first. So you're gonna have to do the granny quest line. You have to find the different 3 different gate keys to unlock this chamber. It can be involved, it can be in depth, but it has its own good rewards, and you're going to need to do this one in order to do the final quest that we're getting into in this video. So make sure you take these bosses out, you know, use whatever elemental combinations you have to do. It's really not that involved, it's not that in depth. You're fighting some ruin guards and then like a ruin hunter at the end here. They do like to walk on the water, so you can electrocute them. You can do kind of whatever it is that you want. You can freeze them, you can bait them into the water, you can do a lot of cool stuff in here depending on what sort of team that you're bringing. But it just survive this little gauntlet of enemies and collect your rewards in here. Make sure you get that Geoculus at the end and then go right back out and finish up the stuff that you need to do for the final Geoculus chamber. Now, once you have acquired all of the Geoculuses, make sure you make your way back to the statue of the 7. After you level your statue to 10, you will have enough of these rewards that the statue gives you. It gives you a sphere, and you're going to be utilizing these spheres to open up this secret final area. And you'll also get the achievement of the unmovable mountain. So once you have all of this stuff ready and raring to go, you're gonna head right on over to the QG slopes here. And once you go into the QG slopes, this is where your final little puzzle is going to present itself. So you're gonna teleport down to the QG slopes, do a 180, and run right on out here. You will see several towers here. These towers are going to have a layer of stone around them. But in this final example here, as you guys can see, you're going to head right on down to the final tower of whatever tower it is that you haven't done yet. And you're going to implant each of these spheres into the bright, shining face that you see before you. After that is done, the dungeon will open for you to explore. And inside of here, you are going to have to go through another onslaught of foes, each with a small little mechanic in addition to the enemies being there. You'll have these little tiny flaming sort of stone monuments that take bonus damage from claymores, earth damage, and these are going to need to be destroyed because these are going to buff the ever-living crap out of the enemies here that you are fighting, making them very, very, very tanky and hard to deal with. You'll have a combination of the armadillo type enemies as well as the normal stone statue guardians, and then you will have the grand final boss of this endeavor as well. You will have the flying ruin hunter FO92681 here, level 50. So these monsters are pretty high level, but by the time you acquire all the Geoculuses, you should be okay here. Try to hit it in the face. That will deactivate it. I was not so lucky to do so in this instance. You are going to have to run around the map and deactivate these stone structures because these are going to spawn and buff the boss as well as any additional adds that do spawn up here. And you're just going to have to go through here and fight this enemy. He does hit very, very hard, and he can take you out quite easily. So do dodge, duck, weave, dive, whatever it is you need to do. Make sure you're using your elemental combos, your elemental affinities to electrocute him, maybe even freeze him if you have water and ice. That could be very powerful in this situation to just kind of get some extra damage in there. Whatever it is that you need to do, whatever your team is based around, you're going to need to try to make use of it in the fullest here to destroy this enemy here. But to recap, ads are going to spawn. You're going to have to deactivate these statues, because if you don't, the monsters are going to be way harder to take down, and you're going to be in it for a little bit of a mini boss battle here with these level 50 monsters. Now, what is the grand reward here for all of your trouble, all of your hard work? You're going to unlock a chamber here, and the final chamber is going to reward you with 2 nice chests, okay, as well as a little bit of extra secrets here. You will be able to see it floating in the background. It is going to be an actual 5-star artifact here for you guys from the Nobles. I think the Nobles Obligus, whatever it's called. It's the Royal Flora from the Noble set here. I just call it the Noble set, but it is actually pretty powerful. It's going to increase your the Noblest Oblige. It's going to increase your elemental burst damage for the 2-piece, and then the 4-piece, after using an elemental burst, increases all party members' attack by 20% for 12 seconds. So this is a very strong supportive artifact for a support on your team, right? You don't want to put this one on a DPS character. You want to put this on a support character. That way, when they elemental burst, they'll do a little bit extra damage, right? Someone like Jean would be very strong with this. Get that extra elemental burst damage, get that extra healing for your party. And then your main damage dealers, who you're actually equipped and ready to do damage with, you can swap to them, and you'll do an extra 20% damage due to that 20% attack. You get that 20% attack increase and be very powerful as a support option there. The Royal Flora here. And it is an epic. It's a 5-star artifact, so make sure you get in there and you do this. It's something that is very powerful. It's probably gonna be your first 5-star artifact as well, unless you've been really slacking on those collecting those Geoculuses there out in the world of Genshin Impact. So that's what we're doing today, guys. Make sure you go in there and you do this. It's gonna take time. Make sure you look for those Geoculuses as you're doing things, as you're doing quests, as you're activating statues, as you're getting treasure chests out in the world. And it's going to be a good time out there for you guys. So if you want to see more stuff like this, go ahead. You know where the channel is, but be safe out there. Have fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.